Meet Mike Wilson in Wales and me, Harmony Gates, in California in Mondays with Mike. Drop in on our wise, warm, spontaneous discussions where we explore the deep stuff of life, revealing the wisdom, insight, and truth that lives in us. Discover resources for living and sharing your fullest aliveness and for enhancing your capacity for safe, comfortable, emotionally connected relating. Welcome to episode 51 of Mondays with Mike. In this episode, it's Mike's turn to share. Harmony listens as Mike explores what might be his to do with the rest of his life in order to realize his desire to have an impact in this world, one aligned with his values, matching his interests, and using his gifts, skills, and talents. We hope you enjoy and find benefit in this episode.
Try to put that down there for safety.
Okay. And so just before we begin, I want to invite you to coach me how you like to be listened to.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think probably it would be great to get some feedback at some stage, but not right away.
Okay. Do you want me to wait until you actually ask for it?
I think that would probably be as well. Let's try that and see how it goes. Yes, please.
Okay. And then if you decide to change it somewhere, just let me know and I'll see what I can do to respect your needs.
Then that means if I pause, I don't have to worry that you might think I'm waiting for you to say something. Yeah,
exactly.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a little check-in first, just to say how you are?
If you'd like, I can. I can say that. Yeah. I spent the morning pretty intensely reading on some local politics just now, but that I'm a little cold, but I'm very good. I had my birthday, wonderful celebration. I feel very happy with myself.
Good. Was that Friday your birthday?
It was on Friday, and then on Saturday I went to an event where it was another woman's birthday, and we had a good celebration there, and I was able to experience that more myself than I've ever been able to in a social situation like that. Just really at ease. So a lot of good growth that I could see and be happy with. Self-growth. Yeah.
Good. Happy birthday for Friday.
Thank you.
I'm a little bit tender. Something that's happened a few times, but not for over a year, is what the doctor said is called a visual migraine. So some people get the dreadful headaches and their vision goes blurry. So I get the blurry vision, but mercifully you don't get the terrible headaches.
Okay.
But it means that it can last for an hour or two or three.
And you're in that now? Yeah, that's
No,
happening.
it went about an hour ago.
Oh, okay.
So it started around lunchtime. It went on for about, 4 or 5 hours. And it's a bloody nuisance because it's very difficult to read because my vision goes there's like sort of swimming around it going on in my vision. So it's left me with a mild headache. I've taken some paracetamol.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a little bit weary. And that might be, I've experimented with taking some CBD oil to see if that is helping with my back pain, because that's been a bloody nuisance for several weeks now, probably a couple of months actually.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's helping or not, but it does leave me feeling a bit fatigued.
Yeah.
So what am I noticing? There's that sort of ongoing project for what's mine to do, what's my contribution.
Yeah.
And I've got there's all, and I still don't really know. I've got bits in the mix. I've definitely got a sort of ongoing project, which in a sense has been a lifelong project to build a practice of non-violence, or which sort of began in my early teens.
This is a personal practice. It's a personal practice,
Yeah.
or yeah. Okay. Just want to be clear.
A personal practice. Yes, it's not about being out there teaching it. It's about being it, embodying it.
Yeah.
Sort of having it my authentic experience rather than having textbook NVC.
Yeah.
Is to have an authentic experience of embodying it. And I came across, did I mention that before, that book, See No Stranger?
Yeah, you mentioned the name of it. Yeah.
I probably mentioned it on the group call on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been working slowly on that. I read slowly anyway because I have that dyslexia. So I'm working on that. I've got the sort of the project that has built up some momentum more recently. It's been going on since early last year. This idea around capacity,
Right.
like what's not what's expected of me, and what society says I ought to be able to do, but what can I genuinely do? And that kind of began slowly when Mickey first discussed it early last year, and it sort of picks up. And it's interesting because it's a slow, steady project, and it's mixed up with. You've probably come across this, the idea of masking, that people with neurological differences.
Oh.
No, yeah, different kind of mark. Yeah, people with neurological differences, typically autism, but other challenges as well, will conceal the symptoms.
Okay. Gotcha.
Including from themselves.
Yeah.
So in squashing myself to try and fit into what I thought society wanted me to, or what it was telling me, not so much what I thought as what I was told. You have to be able to do this. There's something wrong with you if you can't do it.
Right. Yeah.
So there's that slow, and that's become quite a pleasant process. I'm quite enjoying that. But it's that slow uncovering of what I'm really like.
Yeah.
Which,
Unmasking.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying that. So, and it's great to not have the pressure of having to work for a living, because I've been retired for nearly 2 years now.
Yeah.
So it gives me a lot of space, and the lockdown means I'm not doing hardly any socializing. So all of that's been actually quite a productive space for me. It must be murder for all those extroverts, but for us introverts, it's great. It's not that different from normal life. Right. We're not officially locked down in the UK at the moment, but we're pretending that the pandemic is over, even though it's as bad as it's ever been.
Okay.
So some of us are thinking, yeah, we're not playing that game. Carrying on being careful.
Let that go. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to put all those pieces together. So there was that thing that we probably talked about a few weeks ago, or maybe not. I talked about it with someone, I can't remember who, where it was 2 weeks running on Mickey Cashtan's Zoom call, where something happened and I realized that my practice of MVC is kind of more developed than I sometimes give myself credit for.
Right.
So then that's another bit that's in my mix. What's that for? So it's not just a personal project I want to do in isolation. But I don't know how to get it out of how I want to get it out of isolation.
Yeah.
I don't want to be doing bog standard MVC trainings.
Right.
But I would like the world to have more non-violence.
Right.
For more people to have that choice.
Right.
So all that stuff, and I'm trying to pressure myself into coming up with an answer, and at the same time noticing that if I manage an average, I've only got another 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the average typical life expectancy for people in my age group with my lifestyle is 86, and I'm about to be 65.
Yeah.
Although because of the way statistics work, if I make it to 86, I'm probably good for another 10 years.
Right.
because the average includes people that died in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah. 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 Would you like some reflection now from what's been said? I'll just ask and you can say no. I'm just, we can
I just want to reiterate that I'm trying not to put myself under pressure, and I realize that time is finite.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're trying
that was it.
I got it. Okay.
And there is more to say, and that it would be nice to hear a bit of reflection, any what arises for you.
Yeah, it's there's quite a few pieces, but it seems like they've kind of come together. The pandemic, the not having to work, the recognizing of masking that maybe there wasn't really a recognition of it before, but now it seems obvious to you that, oh, I've spent a good deal of my life conforming to the expectations the culture has told me who I should be in some ways. Yeah. And now that I even know that's a thing and I'm looking into it and I have some space with myself that doesn't have these pressures to perform, it's being revealed to me kind of, oh, I have this skill and I have that skill. And one of them being, you were more specific last time we talked about it, but you can listen to people and hear their needs just really very clearly. And that's not everyone can do that for sure. And so that's a special recognition that you can do that. And also to me, it speaks of really integrating and becoming NVC, the thing you're talking about. Like, this is how we interact with each other from this basic realization that everyone is speaking their needs pretty much, and you can hear them and you have talent at hearing them. And you're looking at your lifespan and how much time you have to get to whatever this place is that feels like you've used your capacity, your correct capacity to contribute in an authentic way yourself and have a positive influence or impact, hopefully. And the last piece is it's not going to be you just in isolation necessarily, even though that's been kind of a cauldron for you to kind of be recognizing and feeling into who you are, but that it seems there's something about interaction with others where your skills are needed and you can apply them. This one in particular, where you can listen, hear needs, and that's something you have as one of your superpowers, or you're not pushing it or working it. That's how you listen. You've become a person that listens that way.
Almost by accident.
Yeah. You didn't really have to work at it. You had an intention, and here it is. Or, maybe it's even been there all along, but you didn't know it, didn't know it was valuable, didn't know that's what was useful. And so now you're looking at what your lifespan will have. So also capacity, not, oh, I got to make it happen now, I only have this much time, but some almost maybe a trust that if you've gotten here without a lot of diligence and work, especially, and push, that maybe trusting that is how to move forward, which it sounds like, at your own pace, with your intention.
I hadn't considered, I just, because I don't naturally write because of the dyslexia, it hadn't crossed my mind until you were speaking. I could write some of this stuff down without trying to connect. Just have a sheet of paper with words on it, just a bit of this and a bit of that. Because you mentioned about the listening, which I hadn't mentioned when I said this is putting down what's in the mix. So listening's in the mix. There's sobriety, 26 years sober and doing very nice on it. Thank you very much. And meditation.
Yeah.
So these are other things that could go in my cauldron.
Yeah.
To increase my confusion by not knowing what to do with all this stuff.
Well, or, increase confusion, or it seems to me they're integration pieces. It's not like they're separate. This is, to me, what I'm hearing is these are the elements that have been along the pathway for me that have helped me be where I am now and have the clarity I have now to know more who I am, a little more what my skills are, what I'm good at, and to know what I want, what impact I want to have.
Because there are occasions when I write something, and what works marvelously for me is Twitter, because you've only got, I forget,
that
240 characters, I think it is, which is about as much as I can comfortably cope with without getting lost and forgetting how I started.
Well, and can I speak to that? Because it excites me knowing you. And that is that this is another skill of yours that I really appreciate. I could talk for 20 minutes and you'll say one sentence that kind of like captures
the essence. Yeah.
The essence, that I see that sentence and I go, oh yeah, that's it. And that's what Twitter is. It's a sentence or two, right? It really is the channel that's perfect for you, given the skill, that particular skill anyway, that is so valuable to me.
Did I ever read you what I wrote about how do I put this? I wrote this for Twitter. Deliberately wanted to write something about my my hope, my longing, my wish for how we live on planet Earth. Did I ever read that to you?
Is that perhaps what I'm thinking? If you did read it to me, it has to do with in the purpose group where you said your vision, like your what if vision.
Is shorter than that? Let me read this to you, because this is a tweet.
Okay.
So this isn't. Hold on, I need my glasses because the text on my laptop is tiny. When we truly love life, we will love the earth. When we love the earth, we will find a way to live so 1,000 generations of our descendants can live. We will not do this out of a sense of guilt, duty, or obligation, but because anything else would be unthinkable.
Bingo. It's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, that you are amazing at. And You know, I'm not a Twitter person, but if that goes viral and people read it and feel into it, then that's, it's like changing the climate.
And I would love to spread that kind of slightly well, I don't know what it is. I haven't got an adjective for it, but the idea, there's an assumption that if we change the way we live so that we bring climate change, if not under control, at least less catastrophic. There's this assumption it's going to be awful. We're going to have to give up this. We're going to give up that. It's going to be miserable. We're going to live in cold, damp, dark places and eat fucking vegetables all the time because we can't have any meat. but what if we find a way to live that is delightful, that is wonderful, that isn't miserable or glum?
Yeah. And what if that comes from not, we're fixing a broken thing. We had fun and now we have to, be punished. But it says instead, oh, here's a whole different way to have fun. And really, let our fun be what works the way nature intended. Nature has fun all the time, and look what it builds.
I think maybe we would more as a species would live more in tune with our nature and with the rest of the world. And I think maybe part of the reason we maintain that separation is that we can't bear the thought of the grief of realizing how we've lived and how destructive that's been. So if we allow ourselves to grieve how it's been, then we will be able to shift into the joy of how it could be.
And that's another piece that you've discovered and offered. The morning groups are a space for people to have that in a safe way that they can actually live through the grief.
I feel another tweet coming on there, actually. I mean, it might only be 280 characters, but it can take me 2 weeks to write it.
That's the essence of deep poetry, and so, yeah, time is not the measure on this. It's all the distillation that's happening, and then boom, here it is. It might have taken a lifetime actually to get this tweet to happen. Really. And so, and that's, that's wisdom then. And
somebody asked Terry Pratchett a while ago now, somebody asked him, how long does it take to write a book? And he said, you need to have been alive for 55 years, and it takes about 6 months.
Yeah. And it reminds me of a kind of a joke about someone having a problem with their car and going into the mechanic, and he looks at it and 5 minutes later it's fixed, and then he says that'll be $500, and they say, what? You only spent 5 minutes? And he says, yeah, but I have 20 years of experience that allowed me to do that in 5 minutes.
There's a similar story about an a very specialized electrician who worked at a power station, and they called him out of retirement because they couldn't figure out what the problem was at the power station. And there's this huge hall, those big grey metal boxes full of electrical equipment. And he looks at a diagram for a few minutes and then walks up to one of his grey boxes and puts a cross on the front with a piece of chalk and sends them a bill for $1,000. And they ask for an itemised bill. And he says, making a chalk mark $1, knowing where to put it, $999.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to watch the playback of this. I'm glad you're recording it because there's a lot of words to go on that field of paper. I'm not even going to try and connect them. I'm just going to fill the sheet with words.
Yeah.
With some space around them.
Try that and see if that is a method that works for you, to see the words, and then, because I do think each person, I, for myself anyway, need to find the method to take all that's going on in me and be able to shape it and see it and present it, or whatever it is I'm doing. And this might be exactly, you know, you're welcome to the recording for sure. You can pull off the words. It sounds to me almost, Mike, that you've got your system figured out. If you know that tweets are going to come out of you and you have a place to tweet them, and you don't try to push them, but allow yourself, there's like a potential tweet, and let yourself sort of meditate and walk and have it in the background in whatever, however your system works, that maybe there's one more step. I don't know how it gets from that to the clarity, but you could review what process you used to create the tweet that you read out to me. Like, what worked for you there? There was something that worked to go from all the words that could be to what you came up with.
It normally goes through iterations. I'll write it once and then go back and think, yeah, that's almost. Yeah, and then round again. Yeah, almost. Not quite that. And then, yeah.
There's a point where you go, that's it. Out it goes on the tweet sphere. Yeah. And of course, you know, we can't control the outcome of what we put out. But we can try to aim it somewhere where it might be caught.
Yeah, once any work of art, whether it's a painting that took years to complete or a tweet that took a few days
or a lifetime
or whatever, once it's released into the wild, the role of the author is complete.
That's right. That's right.
There's a famous essay that we were supposed to study when I was at college, called the death of the author, and I forgot the name of the guy who wrote it, but he's basically saying that everybody's interpretation of a work of art is just as valuable as the artist's.
Right.
The artist, it's not a literal death, it's just that he plays no further part, or she plays no further part in this work once it's released into the wild.
Yep. You birth it, and then the world,
let it go.
Yeah.
Can't curate it, can't hang on to it, can't control it.
Nope.
Just let it fly.
Yeah.
Or sink.
Job done. Yeah. And then, you know, and actually in that case, now you're free to have the next inspiration, because you're not micromanaging the last one to see, you know. So then that's where your genius is really well focused, is in the next potential tweet that's coming.
I like, I'm very satisfied with my ability to complete something and let it go and move on to the next thing.
Good. So that,
and not get stuck perfecting it forever, or afraid to let it go because I'm not sure if it's good enough, or trying to, as you say, micromanage it after it's gone. I'm kind of comfortable. Just float it away. What's next?
Yeah.
Quite pleased with that attitude. That works for me.
Yeah. And I think that you found, at least at this point, Twitter is just sort of,
it's a great platform.
It's custom made for you. You know, it really is. It's short, the attention span. It allows you to not get embroiled in a novel or something that's going to take, you know, this is just, and you know, the breath, because I'm excited for you. You know, it's custom made for you, and it's perfect timing, because so many people are consuming through the Twitter, those short, exactly the size that you deliver, you know. And if you can make, and you do, those are very potent offerings.
Probably So I'm fidgeting like mad because of my back.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably that brevity probably works very well for the age we're living in.
Exactly.
Where the internet has reduced everybody's attention span to something like a goldfish.
Yeah. Not everybody, but enough people, a lot of people, most of the people
Yeah,
probably. So
it's probably
you're,
the predominant
mm-hmm,
the predominant way of working, of
mm-hmm,
thinking.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I want to watch a video about something on YouTube and it's 7 minutes. That's way too long. Haven't you got one that's 2.5?
Right. And if you could actually watch it for 7, you could probably write a half a sentence and tweet it out.
Yeah,
That's what it's about. Not that that's your job, but
probably been down to a minute and a half.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
are. So that's great. When you put the video up, I'll watch out because I'll get a notification anyway
Okay.
because I
I'll
follow
do
you
that.
on YouTube.
I'll
So
see
when
what
it's uploaded, I'll see it. And I'll remember to find all the words, the important words to me, and stick them on my sheet of paper.
I will make an effort to get it up this week, and I'll make you another offer if it's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, it's fine. I have
I've eaten
software.
a bar of chocolate an hour ago.
Good for you. I have software that makes it quite easy, although your accent maybe sometimes makes it hard. It's a voice
I haven't got an
recognition.
accent.
No, not your, but according to my software, your words are a little bit harder to translate.
It's you that's got the accent.
That's right. That would make a good tweet right there. Something about that would be fun. Anyway, it transcribes. So I could send you like a transcribed document. But if you want to watch it and take notes, you can do that too, or both. So,
if you can get to the transcribed document easily, that would be great.
Okay.
But if it's a lot of trouble, don't worry about it.
No, it's not a lot of trouble. It's the one piece you may have to do a little extra work is from the transcription, you might have to look at a word you said and go, what? That wasn't the right word. What did I say then? But if that becomes a problem, this can be an experiment. There's a way to share it with the recording. I think I know that I can read it that way so that I can hear the recording go, wait, what was that word? Because it didn't transcribe, and I can actually rehear and then successfully figure it out.
Yeah, I've seen transcriptions like that, and usually it's fairly easy to guess what was actually meant. Especially
if it's what you said, then you know you can remember what you said. So okay, I'll get on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A quick checkout?
Yeah, let's do a. I'm particularly interested when you check out about how this went for you, if you want to share that, but whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good to be heard. It was great to pour all that out and to get some inspiration and just to notice that these gifts come, they're valuable, even if we're not quite sure what they're for yet. They're valuable. I like having them. I enjoy them, and I'm celebrating and appreciating your listening and your reflection. Thank you. I'm complete.
You're welcome. It's my turn, but I'm going to take a pause here first. Yeah. Yeah, I want to let that sink in before I just talk right over it. Just that appreciation that I felt. I do feel pleased with how this went. I can see it on your face that you feel happy and, energized by what happened, and really glad that that I set up the space and asked you what would work for you, gave you the, command of that. And then it sounds like the way that I heard that and was able to be here for you met your needs and worked for you. And that makes me really happy because I like doing that. So I appreciate you and us and what we're doing here as it continues. And will follow through with the things I've offered and post this up, and excited to see where we keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Great. Group social. Yeah.
And then next week, it'll be my turn to sit in the
Yeah.
and
You're in the hot seat.
yeah, in the hot seat. And we'll do it again in the other direction. And
Great.
I'll be lovely. Okay.
So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
See you tomorrow. Let's do our signature sign off. Yeah. Ha.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Mike.
Thank you for spending this time with us. If you liked this podcast, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay with us. And tell us what you thought of this episode. We love to read your thoughts in the comment section.